looked at them in more detail?
To mention, in relative.
100,000. I can see 100,000. I can 100.
Welcome to American Dream Garage. I recently had a tour with over 50 people that toured both of my garages. And during that tour, we talked a little bit about the shops, but mainly we talked about my cars and why I have them. So why do you have 50 cars? Well, I love automobiles. I've always loved automobiles, and my collection of cars represents cars that I always wanted, that I in later years thought would be more valuable in the future, or just cars I came across and thought would be fun to have. So anyway, I will go through the tour in probably 2 videos, at least, maybe 3, and give you a chance to listen to what that group listened to.
All right, maybe we'll get started.
Yeah.
And I can talk a little bit about what this place is, and then obviously we have the other shop, and it's. So this shop I bought in 2018. It originally was just this building. It had one lift, and it had land over there. So in 2020, before the pandemic, I got a price to build the building over there, and they honored it and built that and finished it in 2021. So here is where I do, and this is probably the best example. I have 0 training other than 4 classes at McPherson College in engine rebuilding, which I've not done yet, tune-up and diagnostics, and then I took a welding class, and I have a brand new welder over there, and my first project's going to be the floor of this car. I've never welded on any car yet, so I'm learning. So everything I do here is kind of self-taught, and you'd be surprised, YouTube is an amazing thing. I can find anything, any problem I have, I can find it. And it's just amazing how much time it saves you. So the best tool I have is in my office, and it's a computer. So messy parts storage. I have a gas caddy. I got a new Sun machine, which I learned how to use at McPherson College. That is a powder coating booth. Next to it is a powder coating machine. Next to that is a welder. Gotta have air. Big, huge compressor in the back that was here when I bought the shop. Then over there next to the compressor is a small parts paint booth, so it's ductless. So it doesn't put out any odor, so you can spray, it sucks the fumes in, and you don't have to worry about that. Then next to that is the powder coating oven. So that basically gets to 400 degrees. And I used to have shelves in it, I took them out, and you just hang the parts. And so most of these things here, you see, these things here, I can take them off. Next to that, sandblasting, that's a clamshell, and you can get pretty big things into it. Sandblast them, clean them up, run them over here, spray them. It takes about a minute to spray them, put them in there, 400 degrees for 20 minutes, they're done. And it's much better than paint. So the stuff that I've done so far, this you could call it a body off restoration, because it's a unibody car. So everything came off of this, was redone and put back on. So all the rubber been replaced, brakes, everything. And, you know, I haven't touched body or I haven't done paint. I don't think I won't say never. I don't think I'll ever do paint because there's people that are really good at that in body work. Just like I'll never do the drywall. Because I tried it one day for like 3 or 4 days on the spot. I could never get it flat. So. Anyway, so 3 lifts to work on cars, and that's what I do. So I spend almost all my time out here, and virtually no time, hardly in Andover, because that's mainly just storage. But so relative to cars, I was born in 1958, so in 1974, I was 16 years old. And I've loved cars since I was like 2. And so I first set out to buy the cars that I lusted for when I was a teenager. So you'll see a lot of late 60s, early 70s muscle cars, both here and out in Andover. Then there were some cars like this BMW here. It's the second car I ever bought back in 2003, maybe. I thought it was the most beautiful car ever made, along with the Alfa back there.
Amen.
And so those were also on my list. I put together a list of cars that I thought I wanted and that I liked for some reason. Why is the Lincoln here? Because I saw that in the movie French Connection. Yeah. I thought, man, that's a
pretty
cool car.
valuable car.
And so that's that. And then some of the, and this one too, I thought was one of the most beautiful cars also. It's the pillarless Jaguar Coupe. A buddy of mine, some of you might know him, he's local, had one, drove it in college as a senior, brand new. Yeah. But, and then, so then a lot of the other cars, some of them I bought for investment. And we'll see some of them in the other place because they were late 80s, early 90s muscle cars. And there aren't very many. And I've got some here and I've got some at the other shops I bought for investment. So some of them I bought just because I wanted them badly. They turned out all to be good investments. And some of them I bought purely for investment. Some of them were opportunistic. Someone wanted to sell that Corvette, so I bought it. Of course, it fits with everything else. This car here is another dream car that I wanted. A friend of mine in high school had one. But this is not real. This is a replica. But it's very authentic. And I believe it was done to exactly mirror the Shelby GT350. It's a blast to drive, and this is probably the best restoration of any cars of the cars I have. Although it's a little dusty. We got a little construction project over here, which doesn't take long for these cars to get dirty. That car's getting worked on. It's got a bad lifter. So that's my first foray into engine work there. It's not going too well so far. I don't know how much you want to hear about the cars, but if there's something unique about them, I'll say it. This car is a Kansas car. It was a doctor in Topeka, 32,000 miles, 100% original. Never been touched, never been, I mean, I think it was stored inside. The leather is absolutely gorgeous inside. Maybe we'll move in here. The cars that are covered are not mine. So, well, that one's not covered. The 82 Corvette is not mine. The Trans Am over there is not mine. I shouldn't say the cars are not covered. These 2 Corvettes are not mine. And that Camaro. So, I'm going to do a video. I have a YouTube channel, American Dream Garage. Well, I put videos out there of the cars that I'm doing, a segment on the V28s, so I have them all out here. I did one on these two cars competing against each other, and I'm gonna do one on all 5 of them. But this, believe it or not, is probably one of the least valuable. But this is, everyone else asks what's your favorite car? This one, because 1974, 16 years old, brand new. A buddy of mine had a yellow one. His dad worked for GM, bought it for him brand new. And man, I love that car. It's like, I lusted for that car so badly. This car, if you read the VIN plate, was originally yellow. Someone painted it white, so it will be painted yellow at some point. So 73, that was about the 4th car I ever bought, that one. That's a frame-off restoration. 74, 1970, so this is a solid lifter car. This is the highest horsepower of any Z28. It's a 360 horse solid lifter engine. That is 302, 290 horse, 4-speed RS Z28. That's a blaster drive. Of course, there are a lot of them blaster drive. Back in the corner is one of my projects I'm working on. It doesn't look like it's going well either, but I rebuilt the suspension. It's got air suspension in it, and air suspension actually works. It's just been sitting back there for 4 or 5 months. It's got a power steering problem, and I think I need to get the transmission rebuilt, but that's a Mercedes 6.3 liter. It's a 300 SEL 6.3, was top of the line car, fastest production sedan in the world. That car will light the tires up. And I've got matching cars over in Andover, we'll see. Up there is one of the 80s, 90s muscle cars. That's a 27,000 mile Buick Grand National. And if you know about those are turbocharged 3.8 liter 6-cylinder engines that are just radical. The fastest cars I own, that car and this white car. Faster than my 930 turbo. That car has the same engine in it. So I saw this car, I didn't even know it existed. It's a pace car. They made 1,400 of them. This is a 27,000 mile car, and in 1989, they put the Buick Grand National engine in it. So it's got the exact same engine as that car. And these cars are just scary fast.
IndyCar used the Buick V6 for a number of years. They were so damn fast. The problem was they wouldn't stick together. So the sports car guys figured out how to make them stick together.
Yeah,
But they're rockets.
I mean, you punch this car going 40 miles an hour and it'll light the tires up. It's unbelievable. But that's the engine. I'm going to do a video on this car and that car, compare them. They're both this is a one family owned car, 27,000 miles. That's a 19,000 miles car. It's weird. And then that's the 3rd car I ever bought up there. It's a big block 72 Corvette. I love the 1972 cars. That's the last of the dual chrome bumper cars. This is the car I drove at Autocross this year. The 914 2-liter. This is one of my worst projects. It's a 914 2-liter. They're identical cars, same year, same options, everything. Where's my wife?
I'm right here.
Oh. I bought this car one night after I'd had a few beers.
Which one?
And it had some, there was a section on the ad that said, click on this if you want to see the pictures that aren't so good. And those were the pinholes in the body. So I've restored everything underneath, and I need to get it to a body shop. I've got the steel, but you can see all the things that need to be replaced.
Yeah, those are the pictures everybody wants to see.
Those are the ones that didn't show up real well. So it's a great running car.
About 73.
Maybe, I guess, I don't know. Well, 73 is, I mean, for those cars, is a good year. The 2-liter engine has got the chrome front bumper and rear bumper versus the big.
Yeah, well, that, yeah, the chrome needs to have the appearance package
Oh,
on it.
Yeah, you know.
It's an optional, including those,
oh, yeah,
Fuchs wheels.
yeah,
And so they have center console.
yeah.
And the
Gauges to, I got a new center console in there for it. So, and then this here is the last of the Z28s, to 81, which has the air induction, and that car, I saw it in an auction, it was just like, oh my goodness.
The color's awesome.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's just incredible.
It just pops, and this car is a frame-off restored car. I mean, everything in the car works. It's pristine. They powder coated all the suspension parts. It runs awesome. Sounds awesome. I don't know what they did to the motor, but air conditioning works. So this is the last. And these cars, believe it or not, these cars could be more valuable than those because of just the age of them. So people that were in high school then are in their 50s now and looking for their dream car. Yeah, so that and like the 89 Trans Ams, no, 79 Trans Ams, some of them were 78s are worth more than, I got a 73 at my other shop. So it's just a matter of the dynamics and ages of people. So, and then that car there is obviously under construction. The transmission, I had the synchros redone, and the shop that did it didn't do it right, and they were terrible, and then David has rebuilt the transmission. The engine is in there, and I gotta put it back together. But also bought because I saw one of these at Metcalf South Mall when I was, 16. And it's like, oh my goodness, beautiful car.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
Oh, and it's the type of car that you get in it and you say, okay, I'm gonna drive it slow, I'm not gonna drive it hard.
Right.
And the minute you get to the first corner, you're off, and it's just like, you can't not drive it fast.
It's just not ready.
And then there's
Yeah.
this I hardly ever use, but there's a Chevelle in here. Needs some help.
Come out of the closet.
Yeah, this is a
Yeah.
1970 LS5 convertible, 4-speed. But me and a friend bought in Kissimmee. Might have had a few beers. And it's a clone. And it's got a few issues. So until I can get the issues addressed, it's in here. It's under wraps.
Jail.